There are things in our day-to-day that really peeve us, and many of us adopt those peeves as pets. You'll see where I'm going with this. A pet peeve is defined as something that a particular person finds especially annoying. Many of the things that annoy us can escape our minds before we even think about them. But these particular peeves happen often enough or strike just the right nerve that they become a pet peeve of ours. A lot of common pet peeves include people not using their signal while driving, people who take up the whole aisle at the store, people who blast music out of their windows, getting verbally cut off or interrupted. Today, I want to go over some pet peeves that are more personal to me, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find that they annoy you too. So let's get into it. There are two pet peeves that are directly tied to my name. To understand what I'm talking about, take a few seconds to see if you know how to pronounce my name. Think you got it? Well, if you thought it's pronounced Orion, then you're actually dead wrong. My name is Orion, like the constellation, but nobody seems to be able to pronounce my name by reading it. In grade school, I got called everything from Oreo to Onion, and it's actually gotten to the point where I don't even give my real name when ordering fast food. Instead, I just go by Ryan. Now that you know my name, some of you from the United States may have immediately thought of the O'Reilly Auto Parts jingle, which is fine, but I have literally heard people do that jingle hundreds of times in response to my name, and it gets pretty old. Why can people not just say my name correctly and leave it at that? My name should be cool, like, my name is Orion. No? No one? Okay, I give up. This pet peeve mostly applies to laundry, but there are levels to it in any situation. For example, if I had a guest who entered my room under my supervision and while looking around decided to pick up and admire my Valkyrie desk model that Clash Royale sent me, I wouldn't have any trouble with that at all. But if I weren't around to supervise, then I would certainly become anxious about what they're doing in my room. I don't have guests come over very often, so most of the time this pet peeve comes from dealing with laundry. Our apartment complex has a shared laundry room and a terrible laundry system to boot. All they provide is a whiteboard to write your name and number on for people to contact you should they need to have your laundry moved, but nobody ever does. People just move other people's laundry without notifying them or without any regard for their property, and I hate it. I once went into the laundry room only 10 minutes past when my laundry was supposed to have been done cycling, and when I got there, my clothes were in another machine that appeared to have been cycling for 30 minutes already. So not only did it imply that someone had moved my clothes at least 20 minutes early, but had done so without contacting me, and it irked me to no end. If any of my socks or other items went missing, I could only be comfortable if it were my fault. But if it happened because someone else touched my stuff, what would I do? It's not as though there are security cameras in the laundry room. Anyway, it frustrates me to no end, and it's why I'm now extra cautious when doing laundry and will often wait in the laundry room for the last 10 minutes of the clothing cycle so nobody touches my stuff. It's embarrassing for me to think about because I get more upset than I probably should, and I'm willing to bet most people mean well, but I just can't bring myself to be comfortable with it no matter how hard I try. I know that physical touch is a love language, but I'm very slow to warm up to it. I've been on a couple dates where I'll be enjoying my time talking with them, and they'll say something suggestive, you know, kind of implying that they want to sleep with me. And let me be clear on this. It is the most annoying and mood-killing thing in all of dating, especially on the first date. You know, when I said take me to dinner first, I thought they'd move a little slower. This is more of a personal thing. I'm more of the hopeless romantic waiting until marriage variety. So the second a woman hints at sleeping together, the night officially ends for me. I mean no offense, but I don't like the idea of being burned after feeling close to someone, which is part of why I'm quite reserved and don't usually loosen up until I feel that I'm actually desired, like as a person. Loved, I think is what people call it. I just don't think it would be very smart to trust my heart with a runaround Sue. To make it simple, I need more than touch. I need companionship. But beyond that, I'm also not much of a hugger, only making a few exceptions for people I know at school who struggle with anxiety. Furthermore, poking, patting, and God forbid tickling all off the table. Now, if I had a girlfriend, I'm sure I would make exceptions or rather just tolerate it, but until then, I'd rather people just respect my personal space. Respect the bubble. There's few things I understand less than being invited, even insisted upon, to attend some event or activity just to go and get ignored by everyone there. One might think that they're just including me but respecting my space and boundaries as an introvert, but every single time the people that invite me just go off on their own and make no effort to keep track of me or keep me in the group. I made the effort to be here. Now, what am I doing here? I insisted on chilling at home and reading the new book I bought, but instead I'm here, wondering where everyone went, even though they insisted that they needed me for tug-of-war or whatever's happening. Honestly, if you don't care about my whereabouts or what I'm doing, maybe just don't invite me. I'd much rather not be invited than not be included. At that point, it feels like I'm a Make-A-Wish kid that got invited because people felt sorry for me. However, I must take into account that extroverts are often hard to understand, and boy have I got a story to tell, but that will be its own video. Okay, I'll mention this last one because it literally just happened to me as I was writing this out, but sneezes that tickle your nose so that your face is prepared for them, but then just don't sneeze are so annoying. You're just stuck in sneeze limbo trying to get yourself to follow through, but it just doesn't happen, and it's just the worst. Pet peeves aren't so big a deal that they constantly upset me, but in the moment they could be very frustrating. I try my best not to let things bother me, but I'm only human. I mean, the only thing worse than having a roommate that uses your dishes and not washing them is the idea that you guys aren't having a great day. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope your day is amazing. But even if you're having a tough one, it was an absolute pleasure having you here today. So keep on keeping on, and I will catch you all later. Peace.